Ok, hôm nay chúng ta sẽ tiếp tục nha mọi người. Hôm qua đã xong cái tập về AI Job Replacement rồi. Hôm nay sẽ chuyển qua Survive the AI Job Apocalypse. Tồn tại trong thời đại mà AI chiếm hết công việc của chúng ta, kiểu vậy. Apocalypse nghĩa là ngày tận thế, sự hủy diệt quy mô lớn hoặc một thảm họa tàn khốc thay đổi toàn bộ thế giới. Ok, Survive the AI Job Apocalypse. Here we go. Ok, vào luôn nha. 53 phút thì mình sẽ chia ra thì khoảng 26 phút, 27 phút một tập diễn. Ok, sẽ vừa tròn 30 nha. Survive the AI Job Apocalypse. Right. Ok. The job apocalypse is our topic today. What is the job apocalypse? Apocalypse means the end of the world, right? So the end of the job world. So sounds kind of ominous. This is our first New Year. So what should I say? New Year topic. And I was triggered by the trip to San Francisco. First, it's a statistic. I get from McKinsey Global Institute, the consulting firm for big, huge company. And they are predicting up to 800 million jobs, 800 million jobs lost by 2030, or 1 billion job lost by 2036. So 10 years from now, 1 billion jobs gone because of AI and robotics, primarily because of AI and robotics. So the reason I'm talking about this, is because I am now in Japan. By the way, Happy New Year, late Happy New Year from Osaka, Japan. So on the way to Osaka, we stopped in San Francisco, and I was incredibly shocked because as we went around San Francisco, I kept seeing this weird car that had cameras on top of them and all over them. And I was driving around. We rent the car, so I drove around. This kind of sees weird car with cameras around on top of the roof and on the front and the back and all the corners of the car. And I really noticed. I really look at it very carefully. I thought it was one of those Google Maps cars, that drive around, they take pictures, they do the street views. I've seen those a lot. I didn't think anything of it until I took a closer look and kept seeing this car, lots of them all over the streets in San Francisco. So I thought, this is weird. Why are there so many Google Maps cars? Whether or not Google Maps cars, they were robot cars, no drivers. I looked, there was no driver in any of these cars. And these cars were everywhere, all over the city. I mean, lots and lots of them. So I asked my friend Joan Christian, some of you know my friends in San Francisco, what is the deal with these cars, these robot cars? And there's a company called Waymo, Waymo. They have a website, you want to check them out, waymo.com. And this is taxi services like Uber or Lyft, but they are AI cars with no drivers. And like I said, lots of them, and they're driving everywhere, all over the city. I mean, many times I was driving, and there one up in front of me and one behind my cars. And I turn, and there's another one. They're all over the place. And this shocked me because a couple of years ago, I read about self-driving cars, and I thought, okay, they're working on the technology, but still have problems, they're going to still kind of a long way away. And we moved away. We moved from Osaka, we moved to Indiana, the countryside. So never seen anything like I did not know that these cars are already, working in business, making money, right? So it was I was shocked how many there were, and they're very, very, very good. They drive all over the cities. And the way it works is just like Uber. So you have an app on your phone, the Waymo app, and you just call it, you put in where you are, and you put in where you're going, when you want to go, and you call, some robot cars comes up, you pulls up, you get in, close the door, you go, it takes you where you want to go, it stops, you get out, and then your car is charged automatically. Your car is charged automatically. I talked to my friends about, we didn't use one, like I said, we rented a car, but Kristen and Joe, they told me that right now a cost of the Waymo is about the same as Uber or Lyft or a taxi. They're all pretty similar in price. And the reason is because right now the technology is still a bit expensive, right? There are all the cameras and the softwares, and obviously the car have to be special. The electric cars. So even though all that's more expensive, of course they can charge less if they don't pay drivers. They don't have to pay the drivers. So right now they're kind of competing with Uber and Lyft and normal taxis, but I just shocked how fast this technology has improved, and not only improved, it's now being used a lot. So, and I look into their website, they're also doing it in Los Angeles and have plans, of course, to go international, I think they're testing Tokyo right now, to train the cars, to train the software on different streets. But right now they're only doing inside cities, right? But their website, they said they're training the AI, training the cars on big highways also. And they're training them in all these different cities. Of course, they're going to go nationwide all across the United States and international. They're all looking at Tokyo. I guarantee it's going to be everywhere in the world. This is going to happen quickly. But because the technology works now. According to the company statistic, the robot cars are safer than human drivers. Fewer accidents, that they track the accident. And maybe there's more cutting, I don't know. But it doesn't make sense because the robots doesn't get distracted. They're not looking at their phones. They're not talking. They're not listening to music, right? So it's amazing. It's amazing. It's coming, even though right now it's just a competitor in the United States, but there are a lot of them in San Francisco, and it won't be long before they start popping up in lots and lots of other cities. And then quite soon, I think they're going to be going across country on big highways. So what does this mean for jobs? It means goodbye jobs that involve driving. First of all, goodbye taxi drivers, goodbye Uber drivers, goodbye Lyft drivers, right? Because number one, the technology is going to get better and better. They're going to go further and further on the highways. We'll be able to go everywhere. And number two, the cost of the technology will drop, right? The cars will get cheaper. The AI is going to get better and cheaper. Everything is going to be cheaper. With that means is eventually, probably soon, they will be able to charge less than taxis, less than Uber, less than Lyft. They'll be to cut the prices below their human competition. And when that happens, eventually it won't happen in one day, but over a few years, those driving jobs are going to eventually disappear. And the same is going to happen to truck drivers. And I don't know, I think a lot of countries, certainly in the United States, there are a lot of truck drivers. So that's a big profession. I don't know. Let's look it up on the internet, I guess, to see how many people work as truck drivers. It's a lot, and they're paid decently well. Their job they're going to be gone because they're going to create AI cars. They can create AI trucks, and they will. And they can do city and get into highways. Eventually, they're going to have AI robots, self-driving cars going all over the countries, in every country. So pretty much all driving jobs, maybe there may be a few, but most of them are going to be disappeared. going to disappear. And this was something kind of a boom wake up shock, like I said, because as I said, I read about the self-driving cars. I thought it was far away. It's not. It's right here now. It's happening now. And the same is true for AI in general. I play around with Chat GPT and some of the AI stuff, and a couple of years ago. And yeah, it was pretty good, but just tons of mistakes, so I wasn't super impressed. But in just a couple of years, it's got much better. For one, there are a lot more choices now. It's just Chat GPT. Now the lots of them can specialize in different skills and different areas, so you can usually find pretty decent ones. Sometimes the image creation, I can look just a finger on the picture and some stuff like that. But it's getting better and better. And same is true that video AI. So I believe this figures a billion job lost because this big company is looking to replace their human workers. Anything that is even close to being routine. In fact, doing more research about it, the kinds of job that will probably disappear. It's a huge number of jobs. It's not just driving jobs. What is? I mean, the loss of income for a huge number of people. And when a billion people go out of work, well, that means a billion people don't have a salary, so they're not going to be buying things. So that's going to create other job losses and business losses. So yikes, frightening. And then, just a McKinsey group, there are a lot of different, this big international group, the World Economic Forum, those evil bankers, and they're kind of telling you their plan. They're predicting, I don't know, 500 million job loss in the next 5 years or something. Goldman Sachs, the giant investment bank, is predicting like 1 billion, also the same number, 1 billion job lost. And yeah, I believe it. So what can we do? How do you survive this? And what job are not going to survive? And in one of these jobs that is in danger, I suggest you listen to the show carefully and start planning now, because it's going to happen fast. The technology is improving so quickly now. So what is the type of job? I actually went on different AIs and asked different AI what kind of job are going to be lost. It disappeared, replaced by AI and robotics and drones. So this, of course, you can use my own brain and figure out what I think true. Number one, obviously, is the factory. You work in a factory, start training for something else, because we already know that a great many have already been lost. Robotic are already used in a lot of factory, character for the factory, etc. This is going to increase in more and more factory, not just automobile, or it's going to go pretty much all manufacturing, and it's going to take over more and more the parts of manufacturing process. So fewer and fewer manufacturing of any kind, factory job. That was kind of obvious. Logistics, which I just talked about, that means driving, transportation, and delivery jobs. Bye-bye. And the huge employer in America right now, Amazon drivers, Amazon delivery. And Amazon has clearly said many times that they plan to eliminate those jobs as much as they can. They talk about, their dream is to have drones, which, probably will eventually happen. That one is probably kind of far away, but it's hard to say now. I don't know. I used to think it was far away, but now the idea is that you order something on, let's say, Amazon, and then the closest warehouse, a robot would take what you order off the shop, take it to a drone to the factory. The drone would then fly up in the air, fly to your house, apartment, or drop off points, and then drop the package there, and you'll get it in less than an hour. That's the dream. I don't think they're so close to that. The problem is that the drones can't carry heavy packages right now, right? It's the cost of having large drones that can handle heavy amount of weight, have enough of them. So I could not good for that yet, but eventually there will be. I think in the shorter term, what they would do in the Amazon, they just use traveling cars, driving trucks, and robots. And so the robot would load the package onto the truck. The truck will be robotics, AI, self-driving trucks. They'll drive around, drop off the packages, at least some kind of robot or some gets in the truck to sort packages, take out package that's yours, drop it on your road or driveway, or some of the drop-off points is in the city with apartments, and then go. And human driver will be gone. So the logistics means driving, delivery, that kind of thing, in big dangers, probably lost. Another one for a lot of people are office jobs. A lot of office jobs will be replaced, not so by robots, but by AI. So admin jobs, anything that's kind of routine admin job, coding, a lot of basic coding, computer programming is now, the AI, so like Quartz and many others that can do a lot of the coding. So you got AI can program for things, and so you just still be human programmers telling the AI what to do and checking the code, but they won't need as many people. They'll be kept rid of a huge number of basic coders, basic programmers. That's a job that's in danger hugely. Bookkeeping and basic accounting. Again, the AI, the computer can do that. They could link up, in order to suit somewhat. You can link up, a business can link up their bank accounts and all their accounts with coming in and out. And then they can train the AI to recognize the different kinds of purchases or payment, and then code them, and then put them into spreadsheets and create bookkeeping spreadsheet, and then create accounting and to figure out your taxes. All this gonna happen. The order is somewhat happening now, and eventually, again, most of the basic bookkeeping and accounting will disappear. Will take over by that's true. Another way to probably see in your own town, your own city, is customer service. Customer service of all different kinds is rapidly being replaced by robotics. And after say as a comment, I understand why. Because so much customer service. I'll give you an example now. McDonald's, you have McDonald's, a really basic one. You go into McDonald's now. McDonald's certainly in the United States, here in Japan, it's the same. And went to one the other day. I was curious to see what system they're using. It's the same. You walk in, you do not go to the counter and tell human being your order. You go to a big screen thing, right? You just print into a giant iPad, basically. 2 hamburgers and 3 large fries. I have a Coke. You print it, put it in, and you pay it on the machine. And then it gives you a receipt and a number. Just to pick it up at the counter. Right now they have human who are cooking and bringing the food to the counter, but I'm sure it's not long before they have robots cooking the food. Why not? It's not that difficult to cook that fast food. So they're going to replace, I'm sure, most of the human cooks. And again, like having a human being pick up the bag or the tray and then take it to the counter. They can easily get a robot to do that, right? So they're already placing cashiers, same with the grocery stores. Like in the United States, there's so many self-checkout all the grocery store. The 2 main ones I go to in a pretty small town in Indiana, in America, United States. I use it all the time. Most people use self-checkout now. So cashiers are gone. There's one person there watching, making sure people aren't cheating. And they have AI system. When you're checking out your own groceries, they have AI. They have cameras and AI system that monitor for stealing. You try to take something from your basket and put it in your bag and don't scan it. there's a little alert and human person comes over and can check and look at the video. It makes mistakes, so they do it sometime when you do pay. But it's getting better and better and better and better. So replacing the cashier, at the grocery store, right? Happening already. I mean already very much so, and this is going to go into more and more jobs. So, for example, a grocery store today, would we need a whole human being putting stuff on the shelf? Because I'm sure they'll be able to just AI and robots could just unload the truck and then scan all the inventory, scan all the tab, and then put it on the shelf. It's not that hard. Amazon do already their warehouses, so I don't think it's long before grocery stores and other big shops start doing that. So they'll replace all the workers. So it's a lot. And honestly, there are places like let's just Starbucks. I'm going into Starbucks, and I kind of wish they would replace the human worker there, because the human workers are so awful. Not in Japan. In Japan, they're fantastic, by the way, but in America, in the United States, when I say America, it's the United States, okay? So it's in the United States. I've been to Starbucks several times. I hate it because every time I go there, I go to the counter. It's my turn to order, and there'll be a worker right there. They look at me, and they just turn around and they ignore me. They're like making something or doing something. They don't say hello. They don't. Can you wait a minute? They don't say that. It's just I'm invisible. I have to stand there for a couple of minutes until finally they decide to turn around and take my order. It's absolutely terrible. So if that's the kind of service that a human is going to do, I'd rather just have a robot will put in my order. Put a screen on to pick my drink up, right? So now, like I said, in some places different. Japan is number one customer service in the world. And I went to Starbucks here, and they were super friendly, very, very. So it's nice, right? It's human. So I think most of us would like to have that human connection, but a lot of places have terrible customer service, and that human connection is actually negative, right? It's like I said, in Japan, it's usually positive. So I'm happy to have a human being help me when I go to buy something. But in the United States, actually, almost all the time, but in many situations, I don't want a human being because I have bad attitude. They're lazy, and they make me feel bad. It makes me feel worse when I'm trying to spend at the shop, Anyway, but the reason the business is doing this is because is that employees cost a lot of money, and it's not adding much value, right? Which, like the Starbucks employees are adding no value, subtracting value, then it's much cheaper for the company to just switch it over to robots and computer screen and AI. But that's bad for our overall society, I think. And then another one is the content creators. Content creators. A whole lot of gone by writers. I follow a few authors who have been playing around with AI, and they are starting to produce really, really good stuff. At the average level of writing, this is fiction and nonfiction. It's so basic and so kind of predictable that the AI can match it or even do better than a lot of it. So a lot of writers, especially independent writers who are not really, really, really unique, goodbye. The job advertising. Like people write basic advertising, a lot of those jobs goodbye. Because AI can do that easily. I think Hollywood, and this is a good one, since this is actually a positive thing, I think Hollywood and the whole filmmaking video market is about to be destroyed, okay? Because soon you or I will be able to make a movie using AI, a 2-hour-long movie using AI tools for extremely small amount of money that will match or be better than anything Hollywood can make for, 200 million. because you know the AI is getting better and better, and the video AI better, more and more human-like, and it still kind of look animated, but it's getting better and better and better and better. And the tools that actually set up scenes and create scene would. I think this is great because what we're gonna have this is just a huge. Anybody can make a movie, and of course there'll be a lot of junk, you know, but most of Hollywood's junk too. So in that case, it could have a more democratic effect, I think. But still, you know, Hollywood's big business and a lot of money is going to be lost, and a lot of people work in those kind of industry. So, yeah, this is huge. It's huge. So what can we do, right? What can we do? So, okay, that's how. Nửa rồi nha. Còn một nửa mình để ngày mai nha. Wow. Nóng quá ngày hôm nay. Thực sự mình hết pin rồi mọi người. Hôm nay không có tâm trạng để nói những cái khác nữa. Giờ chỉ muốn ngủ thôi. Ok. Chúc mọi người ngủ ngon. Mọi người có điều hòa không? See you tomorrow.